Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Norman Network. And as you'll notice, new place again. Wasn't that long ago that I was in another new place, but in a new place again. Guess I just like switching places quite a bit. I've moved. I'm still in Warsaw, still in Poland, so haven't moved that far, but I'm in a new apartment. So today we're going to be talking about some more headphones, since you seem to have liked the last headphone video. These are the KZ ZSN Pros. Canadian. Z. Deal with it. These are nice. I like these. They're, as you can tell, they look really nice. Metal. Really nice. They feel really nice. They fit really nice. They sound really nice. And they're cheap. They're really cheap. So let's get right on into it. And I think I might edit this video even. Special day. So let's start by talking about build. They actually have a removable cable, so that's really nice. So we'll take it off here. It is proprietary to KZ, but that's KZ for you. That's always proprietary. That's kind of what they do. But here it is. Here's the actual IEM itself. It's really nice. It's heavy. These are together, just the IEMs without the cable. It is 30 grams. So they are heavy. But you'll notice that when I do this, they don't actually fall out of your head even without the around your cable. So they fit well. I've got a certain tip on here right now. I've got kind of the shotgun tip. It comes with, I think, like 6 or so pairs of tips. It's actually a pretty good selection. They've got some regular tips, and then they've also got these like nice shotgun tips that are a little bit thinner and they go a little bit deeper, but I seem to find these to be really comfortable. None of the tips make any considerable difference in the actual sound of the IEM, so it doesn't make too much difference. Just figure out whatever makes sense for you. The nozzle is really deep, as you can tell there. It's a really deep nozzle. It goes in pretty far. And it's pretty wide as well as a nozzle, so that's also another reason to use the thinner tips, just because the nozzle, it goes in really far. It's got pretty decent isolation because of that, but it's also really hard to like fit in initially, I guess. Once you get used to it, it's fine. These tips are interesting to put back on. I won't edit this part out. You'll just get to see the lovely experience of trying to put an IEM tip back on after taking it off. You have to break in kind of these tips. I recently just switched to these tips. I've forgotten these were included, and I was using different tips. I actually was using tips that didn't come with the IEM initially. I was using just some cheap TWS tips, but that fit better than the other tips, but these ones fit the best. It's an unenhanced experience for you right now. Aha, there we go. Got it. Okay. Took that long to put on the tips, so try not to take them off. Try to figure out whatever works for you. But they're really nice built. It feels super premium. The price jumps around so much on these, so I won't really mention an exact price. You can expect them to be at maximum like 25 American dollars. I bought these, I think, for, what did I buy these for? Much less. I think I bought them for 30 zwats, so that's 10 Canadian dollars, so like 8 American dollars. They jump around so much. You can get the best deal if you go to the actual KZ AliExpress store. That's where I found the best deal, but there might be another company that ships to you faster, because that comes straight from their factory in China. Yes, these are Chi-Fi, but it's what you're going to get if you're paying, it's like $15 for really good sound. But they are built incredibly well. It's a metal backplate, which is really nice. It's kind of a matte metal, so it's not reflective like the ZSN Pro if you have that one. I haven't tried any other KZ IEMs, so I can't really vouch for what the other ones sound like. It's their KZ is kind of the laughing stock for tuning, but we'll get into that once we get into the sound part of this review. But back to build, I chose purple. There's like 5 different colors that you can choose from. I just like the purple, but it's kind of it's a solid. It's not totally solid, but it's a nice like plastic body, which feels nice against the ear because it does rest right in your ear, right there. So it takes up pretty much the whole ear. And then it's a metal nozzle, but obviously that doesn't make too much of a difference because you're using the rubber tips, or if you want to get foam tips, I guess you could. I haven't tried that, so I can't vouch for how that changes the sound. So put them back on this cable here, which this is a KZ cable. It uses these different connectors. It's still 0.75 2-pins, but it has this like protruding mechanism, which makes it proprietary to the KZ cables, which this is not the stock cable. We'll get into that right about now, actually, but it's pretty easy to just slide on there. And if you don't know how to fit an IEM, there's lots of tutorials out there, but you take this, because it is around the ear like this, and you go around and in just like that, and there you go, it's secure. And it's also a little bit safer because it doesn't pull on your ear. If the cord gets snagged at all, then it actually pulls on your ear before it pulls on your actual ear canal, so that's nice, and it makes them way more comfortable for long periods of time. We'll get into this cable. The cable that I have on it is really nice. I bought it just with the IEM. It was also on sale at the same time because it's always on sale on the AliExpress store. I don't understand how it all works, and must make these for so cheap if they're selling them for this cheap. But this cable that I am using, this is the gold-silver upgrade cable. Cables do not make sound difference. It makes measurable difference, but it does not make subjective difference. I'm not a person who measures things. I don't have the money for a measurement kit. So, it makes, it doesn't make enough difference to matter. But the cable is, like, this is really nice. There's one thing that does make a difference is this cable has practically zero microphonics, so it's wonderful. There's no cable noise. It's great. The connections right at the end of this cable is really nice. Still terminates in a 3.5, but I mean, you could run these balanced. I suppose KZ doesn't supply a balanced cable, but I think there's a couple other companies that use the same connection type. They're probably all made in the same factory, and that's why. And I don't know if they sell balanced cables, but judging by the amount of connectors, could probably run it balanced. This is a really nice cable. This is, what is this, 4-wire weave or 8-wire weave? 8-wire weave. You can see it right there. It's pretty nice. Gold and silver doesn't make a difference. And then a really solid connector at the end. It's pretty nice. But that is not the stock cable. That cable will run you pretty much the same price as the IEM if you want to get that cable with it, which is ridiculous. I get it, but it's a nice cable, upgrades the user experience a lot. This hunk of garbage is the stock cable. And I have many problems with the stock cable. Let's start with just the cable-y things of the stock cable. First of all, look at that. Look at how it's twisted like that. What? This cable is nowhere near as comfortable. It's like bumpy and strange, and when it goes around your ear, you can feel it. You can really feel this cable. This other cable disappears. This cable is there, and you will notice it's there. The end is pretty nice. It's not the nice metal connector end, but it is a right angle, has the KZ logo on it. You probably can't see that too well. Lighting, there's lighting. I just kind of did this review just on a whim, so this is a different camera. It's just a computer webcam, and I'm not using a mic. I'm not using my actual good camera for any of this. I'm not using my lighting. So this review is going to look far more original TNN than some of the other reviews that I've made recently. I guess I've made mostly like meme content recently. I don't know. Terminates in 3.5 millimeter. You can't separate the weave, but it is a 4-wire weave. It looks like the cable looks nice. It looks nice. It looks way better than the silly gold silver ridiculousness, but it's just not good. Not good. Yeah, it feels bad. I mean, compared to some other cables, it has less microphonics, but it still has them, so that's not a super positive thing there. It just doesn't straighten out. This other one stays straight really nice. Like, this other cable is so good. It's a really good investment, actually, to get the other cable. This one just doesn't want to stay straight. But then here's the real problem with the cable. It has no left side. It shipped with this cable. If I hadn't gotten the upgraded cable, this is the only cable I would have had, and I would have had a channel imbalance, a ridiculous channel imbalance, because it's probably, because the IEM itself is 32 ohms impedance. I'll probably put, here, I'll give you, let's say 5 seconds right now. I'll throw a picture of like the impedance and all the specs right here. Yeah, here's your 5, 4. You can pause if you want. 3, 2, 1. Okay, there you go. It's gonna be gone now. Okay. It's weird. It's like the cable was fine. It's just a regular 32 ohm IEM on the right side, and on the left side, do I have this right? It doesn't matter. On the left side, it turned it to like 64 ohms, and I had like a 60-40 at best, on the best day, channel imbalance. That's bad. That's really bad. So, in the end here, get an upgraded cable. This, you know what I do with trash on this channel. I go, whoop, there it is, it's gone. It's where it deserves to be, on the floor, somewhere over there. It's gone. If you're gonna get the IEM, upgraded cable is a must. But now with build out of the way, let's move on to sound. So, how do they sound? Well, let's put it this way. They sound exciting. They sound very exciting. Once again, let's do another editing thing. Sorry, future Norman, you're gonna have real fun with this video. This is your frequency response chart. I'm assuming I'm gonna take it from Crin, so thank you, Critical. I'm not asking you for this frequency response chart, but you put them on the internet anyway, so people are gonna use them. Enjoy it? Look at that bass. Look at that treble. Or if it's the other way, look at that bass. Look at that treble. Ah! It's like the most V-shaped IEM possible. It's V. It's a serious V. Like a serious V. Like, I'm not a fan of V-shaped things. Like, not at all. Like, here. This Motorola, it's okay. It's not very detailed, but it's flat. And I appreciate that it's flat. It's nice. It's nice that it's flat. Because then you just get the straight sound. It's very boring because it's flat, and it doesn't really have any sparkle or detail at all, but it's flat. I appreciate that. Throwing cables everywhere. Cables, tips, IEM tips. These are my daily driver headphones, Audio-Technica ATH AVA 400s. These are really interesting because these are like the baby of the Air series, so they have tons of treble. And I appreciate treble. I like treble. I listen to a lot of like swing revival and jazz and stuff like that, and I like that just like crispy upper mid-range. And these offer that. These have a major roll-off in the bass. It's very different to these KZ IEMs because these, as you saw with the frequency response chart, the treble goes way up and then disappears off the face of the earth. So there is no, like, the noise, like room noise, hiss, even like some of that, like obviously cymbals are still there, but some of that like echoey of cymbal stuff is just, it drops off. Like, it's still there. It's still pretty flat actually after that point. Not flat, but it still hovers around that, I guess, I don't know what it's measured to, but usually it's about 90 dB is that main halfway point. So it's kind of jumps around at that point, but it does jump around at that point and stays about there. But it's got that huge peak before that. And that peak also, it goes really fast. So it's really heavy on like cymbals with the drums and stuff. If you ever watch Dankpods, he really likes the KZ IEMs, but he also really likes Grado headphones. And those are famous for being super treble heavy, especially in that drum cymbal range, which is fun sometimes. It might be fun if you really like EDM music and stuff like that. In the next part, I'll talk about music comparisons and what it's like running it off of different things. I got a DAP finally, yay! You can expect a review of this soon. I need to figure out all the features. Man, there's so much with this thing. So pretty soon there should be something on this. But Hibby R3 Saver Pro, I've had good experiences with it so far. So we'll get into that in a different review. But I'll also talk about playing different music on it and stuff. It might be good for like EDM type music with like the type of stuff, because that is going to be really present, and so is the because the bass shelf goes and it's way up, it's way above, but that leaves the mid-range it's still flat, it's still on that main flat plane in the mid-range, but you're comparing that to like an 8K and a below 1K. So like the mid-range is so not prevalent, which makes it kind of meh when you listen to certain types of music. Very vocal heavy music is not super fun on it. I have very specific musical tastes, so I listen to certain types of music and it just feels kind of lean and missing in that section. So what other things does it have going for it? Because I've kind of just, like, I've called it trash for, like, we're at 4 minutes and 36 seconds now on the sound part. So I've called it trash for a while now with the sound. But the problem is, I like it. It's really nice. KZ has terrible tuning, but they have good execution. Like, they've done a decent enough job to make it acceptable in the sense of it's not just bass. It's not like a house club speaker. It's not, you can hear all the other music, and it has that fake kind of detail with it, because it's not a very detailed driver. It's one balanced armature, one Knowles something, I don't know, I call it a balanced armature, and one dynamic driver in here, which I think it's 10mm dynamic, so that's where you get all the ton of bass from. But it doesn't sound super muddy because you do have that compensation with fake detail by just raising that 8K up to the ceiling. It sounds nice. It sounds good. There are lots of things that sound really good on it. But certain types of music do not sound good. And by certain types of music, I mean anything that uses a lot of live instruments. So if you're a person who listens to electronic music, something that comes into mind is like Tom York. If you listen to like any of the Tom York stuff, Anima, if you plan to only listen to Anima and you're on a budget, these are really good, because everything that he wants you to hear, you can hear in that, and that's really good. But the problem really is when you have something that's live, when you're listening to brass, and if there's stuff coming at you from all over, and you have an open back headphone, like my Audio-Technica is there, that, like, it separates it nicely. It comes at you from different sides, and, I mean, it's perfect for, like, that brass, jazzy stuff, but it's just the difference between your open backs and your tiny little IEMs that just are right here. These are better than some of the things I've heard. I've also heard a couple, I guess, other chi-fi stuff. What is it called? Jade Audio. It's FIO is the parent company of it. I've heard some of their IEMs. I really don't like it, mostly because it's all the bass, and it's missing that detail, so it has the detailed treble. And those other IEMs, they're really stuck just right here. Like, the sound is only right here. Like, it's even cupping my hands like that is giving it too much credit. This does have a full surround, but that full surround is maybe 2 centimeters from your eyeballs as it's going around. So it's not a huge soundstage, but there is enough imaging that you can get by with electronic music. Live music, it's not the best on it. So I kind of described the soundstage. It's not big. It's an IEM. It's a cheap IEM. It's not going to have a huge soundstage, but it's good enough to get by. I went back home to Canada this summer, and I lived off of these for 4 weeks, 4.5 weeks almost, and then I went straight to Germany after that, and then back to Poland. So yeah, like 5 weeks of only using these KZs, and it was good. It was good. I was very happy to get back to my Audio-Technica ATH AVA 400s. Very happy to get back to those, but they're still good. They're still really good. These KZ IEMs are better than good. They're fantastic for the price range. Like, if you can get them on sale for as cheap as I did, it's a no-brainer. What are your other options at that price? There's no other options for this good of sound at that price. I've said bad things about the sound this whole time, but then again, I'm comparing it to a over $100 open back dynamic driver Audio-Technica headphone. Like, there's so much difference there. The fact that I'm even comparing the two is a wonderful compliment to these KZ IEMs. So, I think that just really proves it, that even beyond, even if you are listening to live music, these are still really good, because if you're on a budget, what better things can you get? What is the other option? The other option at that price range is you're going to go to your local dollar store, and you're going to see, oh, what are the most expensive earbuds that you have there? And you're going to see, oh, it's, actually, what is the most decent? Have a picture of one, I think, somewhere in here. What is it? It's a Panasonic. Yeah, it's a little Panasonic headphone. It's a little Panasonic earbud, and that's the best thing you can get for $10. It's not gonna compare. It's not gonna compare at all to these IEMs. Like, there's no difference. There's a lot of difference. There's not no difference. A lot of difference. These are good. These are really good. But what did I listen to on them? These are good. It's all I have to say. They're good. They're really good. If you're on a budget, you can't do better. If you're on a major budget, you definitely can't do better. I don't think I've heard anything less than 30, 40 American dollars that sounds as good as these. Like, they're good. They sound really good. They're way more than acceptable for most kinds of music. It's really, if you listen to Cats on Mars by the Seatbelts. That song perfectly defines what sounds good on these. That's really all I have to say. Find that song, listen to it, and if you like that song, you're going to like these IEMs. If you don't like that song, pick something else. If you don't like that song, pick a headphone, probably. But I don't have too much to say. I've said it all in this, like, nearly 30-minute video. It sounds good. I like it. It's good. There's not much more to say. I recommend it. I'd recommend it for anyone who's on a budget. If you, like, go to the AliExpress store, I'm not going to link it. I'm not one of those people. But find it. If you want to search it out, you'll be able to find it, and you will like it. It's good. On that note, this has been a first video in a long time. I'm sorry about that. I don't make a whole lot of videos anymore. The Discord community is super active. I don't know if you've heard of the good old Discord. There will be a link in the description to the TNN Discord server. That is a very active place. It's very active. There's a super helpful, nice community there. It's wonderful. So many people talking all the time. It's actually very active all the time because we've got people in North America, we've got people in Europe, so no matter what time zone you're in, you're going to find someone who's also online at that point. So it's a wonderful community. If you'd like to join, please do. It's great. Also, if you have questions for me, I don't check YouTube a whole lot. I'm not going to see your comments, probably. So join the TNN Discord. If you send me a message on Discord, I'm going to see it within, like, a couple hours, because I'm usually on there. So, yeah, on that note, thank you all so much for watching, even after such a delay. I'll be making a review of this pretty soon. I don't have much more to say, but see ya. Bye!